All right, so we're live. Thank you to everybody that participated in the Twitter chat about navigating family conflict. And now we're going to do the video follow up, in which we'll be discussing some of the topics that were discussed. That was a bit repetitive, but it's okay. Before we get to the discussion part, I want to go ahead and introduce everyone that's taking part on the video portion. So, first off, we'll go ahead and start with Erica. If you can just tell us where you're from, where you
Hi.
live, and what you're currently doing.
Right. So I'm Erica Bienkia. I'm originally from Uganda. I am currently studying for my Bachelor of Commerce in Canada. I'm in my second year, so. Woo, woo.
There we go. Yes, right. Ivy.
I can't say Onyinye because we have another Onyinye. Currently, I'm Nigerian. I'm currently in Houston, Texas. I'm going to the University of Texas, and I'm studying media and communications. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. And then Oninya.
Hi, my name is Oninia Harry. I live in Oakland, California. I'm currently newly liberated from a really terrible job that I did have, so I'm unemployed.
Amen. Yes.
And I'm also trying to be a full-time artist.
Really interesting.
Yes.
Great. And then we should get more into that maybe later. I think that might be something that might come up.
Yeah.
And then Vincent.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Am I supposed to say my? Am I supposed to introduce myself?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Hi. Okay. Hi. My name is Vincent Chukwemeka, and this is my 100th 1,000 times.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm excited to always come to the chat because you meet new people. You meet old people, then you meet old annoying people, then you meet.
Thank you. Vincent,
It just
yeah, he's a little extra. While you're in the middle of talking your trash, do you mind telling people where you're from, where you live, and what you do?
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay. I'm from Nigeria, but you would say I'm from Cameroon too because I grew up in Cameroon. I think I'm mostly Cameroonian, but I live in Iowa. I just recently moved from like banking to insurance, so I'm in the realm of financial services, all of that. So.
okay.
All right. Thank you for that. So today we'll be discussing how we navigate family conflict as young Africans. And before we dive into any of the questions that we have or topic points, I just want to know if anyone had any initial thoughts when they maybe received the email or saw like a post about it. Like, I feel like something must have come to your head as soon as you saw family conflict or navigating family conflict as young Africans. So does anybody kind of mind sharing their initial thoughts? And that's okay too, but if you did have something come to mind, you can share.
Well, my first thought was definitely if it depends on if it's a conflict between me and my mom or two other family members. Because if it's between me and my mom, my first thought is I'm going to back down. Because that's just what I do. I back down to her. But if it was between two other people, I try to facilitate. Like I try to be as peaceful as possible and hope everyone follows my lead because I really don't like conflict. I really don't. And I think people try to keep it away from me because of that.
So you said that if it's your mom, you back down. Is that just your response when it's just your mom, or is that typically how you kind of handle conflict in general?
Well, actually, it's a response in general, but it's also a response that started with my mom because I used to argue with my mother a lot as a kid. And I'm not sure what happened, but eventually we just got to a place where I got comfortable with backing down, and because I backed down, she was more willing to like listen to me. But before my mother and I are both kind of stubborn, so when we argue, it's just two walls hitting each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
I guess when I first heard it. Oh, go ahead, Abby. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Onyinye. Yes.
Oh, I was just saying that when I first saw the topic mentioned, I just laughed because I was like, oh my god, I can think of so many like hilarious conflicts that have resulted, and like I don't know, it just made me think of like what I guess it made me interested in what you guys would share and what the similarities would be.
Ivy?
When I first saw the theme, the first thing that came to my mind was that in an in generating conflict, they're continuous. There are always conflicts. There's always something to solve. There's always a fight or something to solve. So I was like, this should be very interesting.
Right.
It's never ending, it's continuous. It just goes on and on and on and on. Especially with our parents. Ugh, my mom is something. My mother is like, I don't know what to say, but it never ends.
Right.
It never ends. It's continuous.
And Vincent, I know you have something to say.
No, Bill, I think you should actually put a disclaimer clause on this particular video chat that parents should know that we are saying this out of love. Because three of you, if your mother see this thing now, you guys are in trouble. I'm not going to say anything about my mother right now.
Right.
It's laugh.
Like that.
Right.
Because my mom sees this, I'm in trouble. But yeah, I think it's interesting because every one of us could relate to the fact that. I mean, I think it's mostly because our parents are not the type who would not, discipline us with some little. I know what you guys know what I mean. I don't want to say it here. Yeah, they'll flog you if you actually. My dad will flog you. Are you crazy?
Vincent, how old are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, why are you still getting flogged?
It doesn't matter.
Then I know I cannot be flogged. My dad now we are talking in terms of men to men.
Oh, man.
But I mean, in those days, I was not a bad kid, but I was not equally that angelic. You understand? So I had my crazy moments.
So you were neither here or there.
Yeah. I was neither here. That's good. Yes. That's good. That's better. That doesn't put me in trouble because I didn't say anything.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the first question, if that's okay. This is kind of a broad one. We're just trying to understand where most of your discussions or conversations that are rooted in conflict or disagreement come from. So the question that was discussed on the Twitter chat, #EziChat, if you're watching live and want to add your comments, was, what do you believe is the root of most conflict amongst African families? And then some suggestions are education, work, finances, dating. And Onine, the reason that I said that you becoming a full-time artist was interesting because that's a career that I know that I'll speak about my experience. A lot of Nigerian parents are like, does art feed you? Can you eat art? So
No.
I just think that's really interesting. So yeah, if anybody has a response to that, that'd be great.
It's funny actually that Anina wants to be an artist because my sister also wants to be an artist. And I think when she first brought it up to my parents, they were kind of like, really? Because I think she was 10 when she started, and they were like, oh, she'll grow out of it. It's fine. Like, let her dream. And then, like, 5 years later, it's still like she's making solid plans. And I think they didn't really have time to get angry about it. Like, they kind of moved straight from bemusement to, like, well, she has plans. So.
Right. Hey, it's better than nothing.
Right.
But one thing me and my parents disagreed on was where I was going to get my university education. Because they wanted me to be a bit closer to home, like in South Africa, for example. And I wanted to kind of get out of like my comfort zone a bit and try to venture farther out into the world. And there was a lot of talk about what I wanted to study because my parents always suggest very practical options like finance and things that I'm not sure that I will enjoy as a career path. And I think that's one cause of conflict between us because I'm always trying to tell them I want to do something a bit less practical just because I think it will not make me happy. And there's a kind of disconnect there between me and my parents.
Anybody else?
Um,
Uh,
Don't worry about cutting people off. It's okay. We're African. We're
Ivy,
used
go
to
on. Ivy, go on.
it. Ivy, let's
Go
go.
ahead, Abby.
so I think in my own it will be a case of career path. Especially African parents have these ideas of the careers or the jobs that would, be beneficial to their kids. In their own way, they're looking out for their kids. They want their kids to have the best, so they have this idea of what would be beneficial for the kids. I can relate to what Erica says in the terms of I have a younger sister also, and she told my father she wants to be a dancer.
That one must have went
He's a typical Igbo man. He cannot think about it in his brain, in his head, that a child of his will want to earn money by dancing. Everything wrong, And also in my case, one of every Nigerian here is in the health sector, so oh, don't you want to study nursing? Nursing is you earn money.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I have my path. I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
I think career, one of the major causes of conflict in family. I can totally relate to that. Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought you froze, but I think I'm the one that froze. So yeah, thank you for that. So the two responses that we got from Erica and Ivy were career, and I'm just going to address this question to Oninia and Vincent. You can also feel free to address the last one, but how are generational or even cultural differences handled within your family, right? So for instance, I was speaking with a friend of mine before this conversation, and we were just kind of talking about my mom's views on homosexuality versus her kids' views. We're all kind of like, let people live, like, it doesn't affect you. But she kind of sees that as backsliding, and she sees it as like, oh, you need to get closer with God because you want people to, like, live their lives. So, like, that's kind of where that question is stemming from. So how are generational or cultural differences addressed within your family? Is it kind of just like, oh, you're young, you don't know anything, or you're old, you don't know anything? Or does it actually like create tension or conflict within your family?
Well, it's funny that you bring up that example of, homosexuality and cultural context, because when I was younger, issues like that, or just like disagreements or differences in opinion between myself or my siblings or my mother, were always sort of like, well, that's just what you think, and you're too young to know better, so, continue to be wrong in that opinion. But I think now, as we've all grown older, really it's just like, in talking to my mom, I always, I guess I approach it as more of an intellectual conversation and less like personal opinion, because I find that in that frame, it's easier to talk to her about it without getting so like emotionally riled up and like without her telling me that it's because I need to go to church or something like that. So I think that exactly. Sorry, go ahead, Beulah.
No, I was just gonna say like, but my mom's default answer is read your Bible or go to church. So how do you go around that? She's like, when's the last time you went to church? What are you talking about? Everything is. So how do you go around that? Like having an intellectual. I'm not saying my mom is not smart. Mom, you're very smart.
Right.
But
Disclaimer.
Jesus is not
Your mom is watching.
I know. Disclaimer, Mom, you're very, very smart. I love you. But Jesus is not the answer. He is. How do you go around that? How do you go around that?
Be careful what you say.
I know. I'm sweating. I'm sweating.
Well, for me, let me see. I'll take it another route, right? I think I'm old enough to talk about that route. And my mom, Angelina, Matt, who else is burning?
I know. There's somebody. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, I live right on the street, so there's always a lot of police
Oh.
and ambulance.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
fine. We hope you're okay, you know.
I know.
Like these people, they could call the police for chat. But yeah, my parents, I think what happened, I think that this is a shift. When I was younger, like in my late teens to my early 20s, talking or dating a girl out of the Igbo, like the Igbo tribe, was a thing for my mom. She already in her mind had this girl for me, you understand? And in her mind, yeah, I'm sure it was in her mind. My dad was that. My dad doesn't really care about me that much, to actually. Not that he doesn't not love me. He doesn't care about me in that light, in the light of marriage. He doesn't care. He knows that I'm crazy. But my mom was mostly into that Igbo, you know. If the girl is not Igbo, that means she has to be a girl that behaves like an Igbo girl. I don't understand what an Igbo girl
Are you the only son? Sorry, are you the only son?
No, which kind of only son? There are many of us. It's just that no, but the thing is, as Bila said, the generation, it changes with time and with age. Because at this age, my mom just would just. I mean, right now she loves my girlfriend. That I know. I mean, she has told me that she loves her. She really likes her, and like she asks me about her every single day. So that means she doesn't care because my girlfriend is not Igbo. You understand? So it's that there's a change, and that equally things which my mom or my dad would have frowned at in the past, which they see me doing. But now, if I do it or if I tell them that it happened, they'll be like, well, yeah, you are old enough, you know. Right. But I mean, there are things which you can't do. I mean, it's like maybe you are calling from the US and they're in Nigeria, and you tell them that like, what time is it? You say, oh, it's like 9 p.m. And I'm outside with friends. They're like, what are you doing outside with friends at 9 p.m.?
Right.
Go back to the house, you stupid boy.
I know.
It's different.
So actually, I mean, a few people have kind of addressed this, but I just kind of want to ask each person if you can answer this question with just one word, and then maybe follow up with like 7 and 8 and 9 more words. But take your time to answer with one word, okay? Just one word. Let's see who can do like one word, because we've done it in the past, and people have responded with like 31 words. So just one word. Right. But as a young African, what is your role in family conflict? Are you the facilitator? Do you remain silent? Do you awkwardly avoid? So if everybody can respond with just one word of what they think that their typical role in family conflict is. And then if you want to explain it, you can, but just one word. I think I want to start with Vincent because this is going to be the greatest challenge to him.
Cold.
So Vincent, I know. Dagger.
You know what they say? You know they say there's a proverb in Igbo land that says that don't climb the local tree on the Saturday. I'm joking. You know, okay, you know what? One word.
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
Okay, it's hyphenated. Okay. Peacemaker, thank you.
I would say mediator.
Okay, Ivy?
Mediator. I'm usually the mediator. Yes, just that's what I do.
Okay, Erica?
I think mediator is also pretty accurate for my role.
Mediator.
When they lie.
If I can explain.
Yeah, explain.
Right, so like in my family, what happens a lot is the type of mediator that runs towards me is like one of my cousins, for example, like my cousin's wife, right? Will talk to me and she's like, your grandmother really doesn't like me. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking I couldn't be able to tell.
Right.
But I can't let her think, like, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know the situation. And I'm just like, what's wrong? And I try to get the situation from her so I can, like, understand. And I try to think of, okay, if that's the situation, what's my grandmother thinking probably in that state? And is she actually angry? Or is it someone that doesn't know my grandmother
Right.
thinking that my grandmother is angry?
Right,
So
right.
I
I
always
mean,
try to
I
get.
would probably call myself a mediator too, but what's interesting is that everybody here claims to be a mediator, facilitator, or peacemaker. If we asked your family the same question, what would they say about you? That's what's interesting. That's what's really interesting. So, I mean, yeah, and just anybody that's watching us live, because I see our viewers, if you have a Twitter account, feel free to tweet us at Ezibota, that's Ezibota, or use the hashtag EZICHAT. I was just really hoping I didn't misspell that. And tell us what your role is, or any comments or questions that you have. Feel free to tweet us so we can kind of respond to you. But does anyone else find it interesting that everyone here is allegedly a mediator, facilitator, or like level-headed?
You said, how do we see ourselves?
I mean, you're right.
Live.
You're
My
right. You're right.
best is I need to say the best thing of myself. I can't. No, I can't.
Exactly.
This like TV thing. This reality show right here. Reality show.
I mean, that's interesting. That's true.
I'm probably overestimating my mediating skills. I'm probably the awkward avoider, but I like to think that I can mediate.
Yeah. So
Like,
I mean, that actually that brings an interesting point, because I know a lot of people here. I feel like if this was a conversation with like reckless white people, it would be totally different. But I can tell that everybody's kind of being careful. You have a name to protect. You have family to protect, right? And so that kind of leads me to the next question of, do you apply the whole what happens at home stays at home mentality to family conflicts, so you don't really go about sharing your conflicts with family, not with family, but with friends or outsiders? Or do you kind of feel yourself being comfortable with sharing any kind of family conflict with friends? What's kind of your approach to that, I guess?
I would say that it depends on whoever or how close I am to the people. I don't really like to share whatever goes on in my family with people, except we're close. You understand? So that way, like whatever happens at home stays at home. That just ends at home, and I carry it around me. That's all. Yeah.
Right.
For me, it's, well, like, I have a friend, a very close friend, and I'll tell her anything, but I try to share stories with her that we can both laugh at. If it's serious and it's really bothering me, I'm not likely to share it because that's kind of too personal. It's something like me and my parents have to work out, and I don't really feel like sharing those kinds of conflicts with everyone else. So it's only really conflicts I can laugh at that I share with people like that are close to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, in my family, it's that's almost the policy, the unwritten policy that no one's like dirty laundry, so to speak, or none of the like internal conflicts are to be shared with anybody outside of the family, even after they've been resolved. Like, it's simply just not anybody else's business. So I don't know.
I think it's because we as Africans are just generally private about our lives. We don't like to,
Really?
Well, no, we're nosy.
No,
about other
it wasn't like that. Not like that.
Oh, I was about to say, because
some parents are mean. They can try to, try to make their kids look funny in front of outsiders. I know
yeah.
can do that. They can look at this one. Let's do it. Most African families, sometimes they just would rather keep things to themselves. They're very private.
The bad stuff, but all the good stuff, they want to flaunt the Mercedes, they want to flaunt the Rolexes, the mansions. Oh, okay. I was about to say. So we have a few comments from people watching us live. Hi, by the way. So Marianne on Twitter says that in response to the question about generational or cultural differences, she says that the differences are usually ignored until a bigger issue comes along, or I guess that she's saying until those differences present an issue. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Marianne, for that. And then Uche on Twitter says that he awkwardly avoids. So we have somebody that is not being honest, because I'm sure y'all were being honest in your own right, but his face is not showing, so he can say that he awkwardly avoids conflict. So thank you, Mary Ann and Uche, for giving your input. Does anybody have a response to Mary Ann's, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, tweet us and I will fix it, because we don't butcher names, right, Ivy? We don't do that around here. But does anybody have a response to her question that differences are kind of not really addressed until they're an issue, a bigger issue than the difference itself?
Yeah, kind of. Um,
Go ahead.
with anything, like any difference of opinion I've ever had with my parents, unless like I'm directly contradicting something they want or like something they really believe, they usually like it's fine. It's fine. I don't really care. Kind of like they leave it alone. Kind of they're like it's okay for you to have your own beliefs separate from mine. But when it brings us into like opposition to each other, that's kind of when they become dismissive, kind of, because I think they kind of everyone values their own opinion a bit higher than someone else's.
Right.
So.
Vincent, or?
Yeah, I think maybe this may be far-fetched, but the thing is, primarily, for families that are back home, there is struggle to survive, and equally there's so much struggle to survive while you're in the United States, while in Europe or any other place, Canada, any other place you find yourself outside, in the diaspora. So the thing is, I think there's more concentration in the family on how to make it day by day. And we have so many challenges as Africans or as descendants of or immediate descendants of African immigrants in these countries. So those things play, like they play the most. They are like 90% of what the family is trying to take care of. I don't know if I know conflicts are important, but then than the part of trying to, talk about those things every single day, or maybe try to solve those things every single day. A very, 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 very clear example, I'm sure most of you have seen it, is that the kid who did the video of telling his dad in London that he got a girl pregnant, and I think he was 16. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. It's a really funny video.
Yeah,
And you could realize that he told the dad that I have been actually bringing this girl to the house. But the father, if there was a conflict, the father saw this as an issue which he was not comfortable with. He had to tell him up front, like, I don't want you to bring this girl, or I don't, this girl's parents, I don't. He would have said something, and he was okay with the fact that this girl was coming to the house every single day. And then for some reason, at this moment, he's like freaking out and calling the mom and looking for something to beat up the boy. It's as Marianne actually said it. She said it well. It's something which most of the time we realize that the African family lets it to that end before they actually, try to take care of it. So it's kind of it's complicated, I think.
Thank you for that. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. That seemed really quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
It seemed quick. I'm sorry, but I know. But so we're gonna go ahead and thank everybody that participated in the Twitter chat. Thank you to Uche and Marianne for offering your insight. I'm just gonna allow everybody here to kind of give closing words about family conflict, about your involvement in Ezibota, anything like that. Just anything you want to say. So whoever wants to start first, I'm not going to pick anybody. But yeah, words.
Can it be about anything? Does it have to be about
Anything, girl. Anything you want, girl.
I would say that this is a very, very amazing platform for young Africans, especially young Africans in the diaspora. Because right now I have virtual family. I feel like I have a very huge virtual family somewhere, and I'm glad this is my first time, but I'm very glad I was able to.
Yay! Turn up.
We need something for first timers. We need like a jingle.
We do. Yeah. We need theme music. You're right.
Wait. Let me check.
No. Let's go back to the drawing board.
Yes, I'm very happy, and I like the fact that we're addressing issues that everybody here can actually relate to. So I'm glad that I had this opportunity. Does Ezibota have an Instagram account? Because I follow Ezibota.
Yes, we do. It's just easy Ibota. We definitely do. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ivy, and welcome to the family.
Um,
Um,
yeah, keep
well,
going.
I was going to say that as far as this chat goes, it was. I'm really happy I got to see other Africans in the diaspora who want to do animation because I've always kind of been a bit worried about my sister's career path. I've always like wondering like, I mean I support her, but I'm always like, can she make it? Can she make it? Can she like be this
Yes.
Ugandan who does this
She can.
thing? And I see some other people trying to do that, and I'm just like, yeah, my sister has a shot. Like she has time, so I'm happy.
That's what's up.
Cool. I guess I just want to say thank you for hosting another one of these chats. Like these are my favorite. I mean, I love the Ezibota platform just in general. I follow your Tumblr, but these video chats are my favorite aspect because we actually get to connect face to face with one another, and I just love it. So thank you for making it possible.
Thank you for joining. All right, Vincent.
Yeah, so my 10 minutes it's in, so let me give it. So I wouldn't say that much. I think I'll just be so like business like right now. First of all, I have a platform, I have a page on Ezibota. It's called Modestus. So just go Modestus is
You are that person.
That's him, yes.
because
Vincent, you
you're
better
that person.
promote. You
Yeah,
better
I'm
promote.
that. So go to Modestus on Ezibota. It's a pop-up page. You will love it. And right now, I'm opening up myself. Onyinye, you are doing animation. I was looking for somebody who is really good with that. I am up for stories. You know, I have a lot to write. If you want me to write, I want to write anything you want me to write. We could do a collaboration, and I'm opening up right now.
Cool.
Contact me directly, and we'll talk about so many things. Erica, your sister, tell her to contact me. Call her, her stories. I just need pictures because I'm really bad at drawing, so technically. But I mean, it's open, man. And family conflict. I think family conflicts were not solved because there was no Ezibota chat. But since there's an Ezibota chat right now, I think every family conflict is solved, technically. So invite your parents to the next chat. Invite your parents. There should be a parent chat. Parent chat. You know.
Listen, my mom has spent the whole time preaching and trying to convert the entire internet to Christianity. Thank you for that. Yeah, just to back Vincent up, he has a great pop-up page, ezibota.com/modestus. Vincent, it sounds like you have a fan in Ivy. You better promote. Just so everybody knows, what you just saw the past minute was a perfect example of smooth networking. I like how you did that, Vincent. Good job in illustrating to the people how to network smoothly. I'm really glad that you all enjoyed the video component of what we do. We call ourselves a multimedia platform because we want to allow for people that are great in writing and prefer reading to connect to do that using discussion boards, using private messaging, using video. So it feels really good to hear that you all actually enjoy it and that you're gaining something from it. That's really powerful. And Erica, you hit me in the core when you said that about your sister. You didn't know about Africans pursuing animation, but now that you heard about it, you feel more confident in her maybe ability to succeed or whatever. That's what this is all about, like us sharing our stories, our realities, so that we can offer support to one another, even though we've never met. You know, just knowing that someone like you out there exists and is going in the same direction or a similar one, that's really encouraging to me. So just that wasn't my closing words, by the way. I'm pulling a Vincent. I'm sorry, but as my closing words, I just want to say thank you to everybody that participated, both in the Twitter chat and the video chat. Like we've had two first timers, we've had one second timer, and then Vincent is a veteran. I'm a veteran, so it's always great to see new people that are coming and experiencing this and like feeling the whole family vibe, the whole home, like virtual home vibe. I love it. We're going to be having another chat next month. Topic is yet to be disclosed, but I hope you guys can join us again. I know we have tight schedules and like we're working with the international schedule. I don't feel like I said that right, but it's okay. So yeah, I hope you can join. And if you're not yet a member, I think everyone here is a member. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but anybody that's watching us, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes. So anyone that's watching that isn't a member, if you want to feel this nice, cozy feeling amongst young Africans, we invite you to join our international community where young, inspired Africans come to connect. You can go to ezibota.com/join. That's ezibota.com/join. And lastly, and most importantly, please go visit Vincent's pop-up page, ezibota.com/modestus. That's MODESTUS. He is a celebrity
U.S.
in the making. US. Did I say E? Ah! Vincent,
Oh
I'm
no,
so
you said
sorry.
the right thing. I
US.
misspelled it.
Oh, I did? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. US. Yes, his poetry is amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. That wrap up only took 15 minutes. Good job, guys. That's impressive. But yeah, so that concludes this month's community chat, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.